Hi there, Steve Kaufman here. Today I got a little bit of a strange video. I'm going to talk about a thing called cultural appropriation and a concept which I don't fully understand, and I'm sure people will help me to understand. But I have this, and by the way, and the reason I'm doing it because there was something I came across on Twitter, and it says, for those of you into anime, I'm sure you're aware of whatever weeboo problem. Some white anime fans love to appropriate Japanese hairstyles, musical tastes, and even the Japanese language itself. This blog demonstrates the problems of non-Japanese people learning Japanese. Spanish is another issue. So many white kids are proud to be able to speak Spanish. So this idea that if you are white, you shouldn't learn Japanese, somehow Spanish is identified with Latin Americans who maybe therefore are not white, so therefore Spanish is not a white language, if there is such a thing. Now, to be fair, I don't know if this tweet is a parody, if this is really somebody's opinion, but it made me think about the issue of culture as opposed to ethnicity. And I am a firm believer that culture is separate from ethnicity. It can be part of, and in most cases it is, but culture is out there and anyone can participate in any culture. It's something that human beings have created over time. We can participate in culture that was created 1,000 years ago, created by different people who lived in different countries, and that's part of my motivation for learning languages. And by the way, I'm going to finish this video by speaking 4 Asian languages. Again, I haven't prepared. Korean might suffer a bit, just to demonstrate that I don't believe in this idea that culture belongs to only this group and other groups can't participate. I'm not a big fan of this whole, identity politics thing that I mean, you can choose to identify however you want, but that doesn't give you the right to prevent other people from also participating in that culture. And the history of the world is one of people appropriating other people's culture. What we sometimes call, Western culture, European culture, is first of all already a mixture of cultures, where people in France were dominated by the Romans, and so they end up speaking a Romance language instead of the presumably Celtic language that they originally spoke. We have all the people of South America who either have Spanish or Portuguese, in a small number of cases French as their native Romance language, but if in the case of Haitians, they're originally of African origin. Brazilians are part native, part African, part Portuguese origin, and they come together around a sort of a sense of being Brazilian with all of the cultural things that the Brazilians have developed, which is a mixture of all these other influences. As I say, the Western culture, which is, to some extent based on scientific development and exploration and conquering other people and lots of bad things that were done, but they relied to a large extent on technology that was developed in China, such as the compass, such as even metallurgy, which was very advanced in China, 2,500 years ago. Printing presses, gunpowder, these are some of the tools that European culture, call it, used to dominate other parts of the world. Not that the white Europeans were the first people to go out and dominate other people, nor the last, because the Mongols and the Turks and the Arabs who brought their religion and language and basically took over areas of the Middle East where they spoke Aramaic or whatever they spoke there, North Africa where they spoke Berber. The whole history of the world has been one of people conquering people, cultures, blending, mixing. That's the nature of the world. And the fact that a particular group is perceived as a minority and therefore at a disadvantage. But they're not a minority everywhere, because there is a place where they're the majority. So therefore, they may be suffering, prejudice discrimination in those places where they are a minority, because that tends to happen around the world, not just in Western countries, but I've lived in Japan, and I can tell you that if you're not Japanese, you suffer a variety of forms of discrimination. When I lived there, I often heard unpleasant comments directed at me, in particular if I was with my wife, who looks Asian because her father's Chinese. But that's a small number of people, say, in Japan. The majority of people treat you very well. So again, one shouldn't be blowing these things out of proportion, not to mention the fact that having lived in Japan, they love to get into other cultures, and good for them. How many Japanese do I meet who are into flamenco dancing, or, I don't know, some aspect of Thai, Burmese culture, or they go to France and work in a restaurant for 5-10 years and learn their way up, and then come home and start a French restaurant where they produce French food, and it's just as good as what you might get in France, but it has a bit of a Japanese influence, and all of this is good stuff. Culture belongs to the world, to all of us, and shouldn't be used to beat the tom-tom of identity politics. So a bit of a rant, and I look forward, I'm sure I'll get some pushback. And just to prove that cultural appropriation is a good thing, something that I indulge in, because I think all the cultures of the world belong to all of us. There's no reason why a Korean person can't sing Italian opera, why a person from Brazil, Africa, Russia can't do, Indian music. It's all out there for us to enjoy and participate in, and it's that kind of feeling about discovering the cultures of the world that induced me to learn languages. So 那我现在用中文说这句，我刚才说的这句，就是这个意思，就是说呢，有的人认为呀，假如你是白人啊，不应该学这个不是白人的文化。那我的意思是说，没有白人的文化，有文化，有现代的文化，有1000年前的文化，有某一些人创造的这个文化，我随时可以参加。我要模仿某一个方面，这个文化的某一个方面，我可以，因为我也是人，创造这个文化也是人。这个文化不在你这个 DNA 里边，会有在加拿大有好多华人，他第2代、第3代，看起来好像是华人，但是里边文化上他已经决定，我就不太愿，我主要的我要参加我们加拿大主流社会的这个文化，我可以决定，我是一个人，我愿意参加哪一个文化，我有这个権利。それじゃあね、日本語で言うとね、私は今日ちょっと演説じゃないんだけども、話したのがね、どうして、白人がアジアの言葉を勉強するかというツイートがあったわけですよね。でそれが英語ではね、cultural appropriation という言い方があるんですよね。多分日本語ではね、もうないんですよ、こういう言い方が。意味は特にいわゆるマイノリティですね、少数の人たちの文化をね、もうマジョリティが、主流の人たちがそれを、真似するんであれば、それが侮辱だと。で、僕はそれがもうそうじゃないんだよね。みんなこの人類の文化、誰でも参加できる。どこの言葉でも参加できる。どこの音楽でも我々楽しむことができる。着るものでも何でもいいから、楽しむ。世界の言葉を、じゃなくて文化を誰でも楽しむことができると思うんですよね。제가 한국어로 그래요. 설명하는 것은 아마도 어려운 생각합니다. 그렇기 때문에 제가 오늘은 한국어로 그만두게 지금 기억이 없어요 한국어. Hôm nay dùng Quảng Đông话呢，即係話我哋即係民族同埋嗰個文化呢唔係一樣嘅。我哋想參加某一種文化，我哋都可以。對唔住我，而家我廣東話就我唔係幾講得幾好，我唔記得。不過係咁嘅。So, and I will finish off by singing a Japanese song, if I can remember the words. 知床の岬に浜那須の咲く頃浜思い出 I can't remember. But the principle is the same. In fact, I think I'll tack on a video of that song. And let us all enjoy everybody's culture. And that's all I have to say. Bye for now. Hi there, back just briefly. You know, I was going to tack on this video of a person singing Shirei Tokoryojo. And it's a wonderful video that I found on YouTube because it actually takes you through the kanji and explains the words, and it's a lovely song. The song was apparently first put out in 1970. So I want to encourage you. I can't tack it onto my video for copyright reasons, but I've put a link up in the description box, and I really encourage you to click on it to hear this lovely song, especially if you are learning Japanese. Bye for now.